Some people don't just worry, they prepare for disaster. Even when nothing is happening, their brain keeps running scenarios. What if something goes wrong? What if I forgot something? What if I missed a detail? What if this becomes my fault? And strangely, many of these people were the same kind of child. The child who was held accountable for almost everything. A glass breaks. Why weren't you being careful? A sibling misbehaves. You should have stopped them. Something goes wrong in the house. How did you let this happen? And slowly, the child begins learning something important. When things go wrong, someone will look at me. So the brain adapts. It begins trying to stay ahead of problems, watching closely, thinking ahead, trying to predict what might happen next. Because if you can see the problem early enough, maybe you can prevent it. And if you prevent it, you won't be blamed. This is where chronic worry often begins. Not as anxiety, but as responsibility. The child starts monitoring everything. Tone of voice, facial expressions, changes in mood, small details other people ignore. They begin thinking ahead constantly. If I do this, what might happen next? If I say this, how might someone react? If I miss something, will it become a problem? At first, this behavior looks positive. Adults may even praise it. You're very responsible. You think ahead. You're mature for your age. But internally, the brain is learning something deeper. Stay alert. Always be prepared. Always expect problems, because problems eventually become your responsibility. Psychologically, this state is closely connected to a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is part of the body's stress response. It helps you stay alert, focused, ready to react. When something urgent happens, cortisol rises. Your attention sharpens. Your brain prepares for action. In short bursts, this system is extremely useful. It helps people respond to danger, solve problems, handle challenges. But when someone grows up in an environment where problems happen often, or blame appears quickly, the brain may keep this system activated instead of turning on only during emergencies. It stays on most of the time. The nervous system becomes used to scanning for problems, looking ahead, preparing, anticipating. This is why people with chronically elevated cortisol often experience something very specific. Their mind moves fast. Even in calm moments, they replay conversations, double-check decisions, imagine worst-case outcomes. Not because they enjoy worrying, because their brain learned that worrying helps prevent mistakes. It feels like control. If I think through every possibility, nothing will surprise me, but living this way has a cost. The brain rarely rests, even when life is going well, even when nothing is wrong. The mind keeps searching for the next thing that could go wrong, and this creates something many people recognize: mental fatigue, because the brain is constantly solving problems that don't exist yet. People who experience this pattern are often extremely capable. They are planners, problem solvers, highly aware of consequences. They notice details others overlook. They think several steps ahead. But the same awareness that makes them capable can also make relaxation difficult. Their brain doesn't fully trust calm, because calm used to mean something else. Calm meant something might be about to happen, something unpredictable, something that might suddenly become their responsibility. So the mind stays prepared, even when preparation isn't necessary. But there is something important to understand about chronic worry. It isn't weakness, it's adaptation. The brain learned a strategy that once helped maintain stability. Think ahead, prevent mistakes, avoid blame, stay prepared. That strategy may have been useful in the environment where it developed, But environments change, responsibilities change, and the brain can learn something new. Not every situation requires constant vigilance. Not every problem needs to be solved in advance. Not every outcome needs to be controlled. Sometimes nothing is about to go wrong. And sometimes the most difficult skill for people who grew up this way is learning how to let their mind rest. Because the child who was once responsible for everything is no longer living in that same environment. They don't have to anticipate every possible problem anymore. They don't have to carry the entire future in their head. And slowly, the brain can begin learning something different. That safety doesn't always come from thinking about everything that could go wrong. Sometimes safety comes from allowing things to simply be calm.